all Jews are angels. All Jewish people are angels, malachim. All Jewish people are Yisrael. Kol Israel echad. All Israel is one. They are all the angel Yisrael. When Yaakov was renamed Yisrael, when he struggled with the angel at Peniel, or Penuel, and the angel asks him, "Why do you ask me after my name?" and doesn't tell him his name, and because the name is so significant. The name of a person signifies what that person is. That's why the naming of a person is so important. And when you're sick, there's a thing called a mishabera, changing of the name. Because maybe the fate of that first name is over. And so what they do is they give them another name. A name that lasted like 120 years. So the name is so significant. And when Yaakov's name was changed to Yisrael, the entire fate of the Jewish people changed. Because obviously not only the country is named Yisrael, the people are named Yisrael. We're all Yisrael. And this is so significant, nobody really says this, that all Jews are angels. Yaakov was turned into an angel. He was a man and he became an angel. And so when people say down here, or Jews feel they're different, of course they're different. They're not people. They're angels. So all the other nations of the world are people, humans. But Jews are not. They're angels, malachim, Yisrael. Otherwise, why would the name have been changed to a name with an L at the end? Could have called him, Shimon. Could have called him Rudolph. Could have called him anything, but he calls him Yisrael. The names that angels get, the Aleph Lamed name, the El name. Mikael, Gavriel, Oriel, Yisrael. It's an angel's name. And all people came out of Yaakov and Yisrael. It's the fulfillment of the three patriarchs. Avraham, he had a name change from Avram to Avraham. Then Yitzhak, the only of the patriarchs who didn't have a name change. And then Yisrael from Yaakov. So we're all Yisrael. We're angels. And so when that occurs, the expectations are different. You're no longer people. There are 70 nations, it's fine, and then there's one nation of angels. And if you don't think so, you're wrong. And I'm the first person to say this, that we're all malachim. Jews are malachim, they're angels. Now, as you know, I've been elevated into the Yetzirah world, the angel world, and that's why I'm familiar with this. in this angel world, there are many forces. There's also an angelic world of Berea, which are the Seraphim. And a very strange numerology of Seraphim is that Seraphim, which are the angels of the Berea world, is 630. And 630 is fine, it's a Shin, Resh, Pei, Yud, Mem, that's 630. And, but one of the things that one does, remember we do a thing called Shalem Vehetzi. That means whole and a half. So to understand something, you have to have whole and a half. And so this whole and a half, that's why when you have 10 and you have whole, that's 10, it's a yud. And then half is a hey, 5. So the real whole and a half is 15. And that's yud hey. And that's more complete than a yud. See? So a whole and a half, that's Shalem Vehetzi, that's a Kabbalistic understanding. Abulafia wrote a lot about things that were Shalem Vehetzi, but we do that in normative things. And then so for 630, what would half of 630 be? 315. So 315, 315 represents Yetzirah. Now, Seraphim are not from Yetzirah. But half of 630 of Seraphim is Yetzirah. And so there's a tie-in between Seraphim and Yetzirah, because it's whole and a half, it's the half. And that's actually what it is, because the Seraphim are higher angels that kind of control the Yetzirah world. There aren't like angels in themselves in Berea world. They control and communicate. You see, they're communication angels. They're, in my opinion, as I've said, the Berea world is the world of the semen, of the semen of the intercourse from the Nahash also, because these are fiery serpents, Seraphim. And so they're a communication from the Yesod of the Atziliyot world, which in a certain sense is the last Sephirot alone in the Yetzirah world, because Keter, the Malchus of Yetzirah world becomes a Keter of Berea world. So the Yesod of the Yetzirah world goes into the Keter and Malchus of the Berea world, and that's the kind of like an intercourse. And this communication of the energy from Yesod of Atziliyut, goes into Berea world, and that's the Seraphim. Those are the fiery serpents. And remember, this Nahash as a serpent also has the same gematria as Mashiach, 358. But even beyond that, those are also the 4 letters on the normative dreidel, which turns when you spin the dreidel like I did yesterday, it turns a square into a circle. And this circle, this Ouroboros, is no different than Yaakov turning into Yisrael, because Yaakov is the heel, the Ekev, the heel. And Yisrael is the Rosh. Rosh Li is also found in the letters Yisrael. So the heel turns into the Rosh in the Ouroboros. Which is the letter Sameh. And so this all occurs as these angels are communicating, these seraphim are communicating and bringing down into Yetzirah, where we are able to sense more these Yetzirah, where we're able to sense more of these Malakim, because that's the natural home of Malakim and angels in Yetzirah world. And so these energies are up and down. They have names for this, but how to find them, how to communicate with them is not easy, because we're blocked from them in normative Judaism. And then the person would think that they're crazy if they're communicating with angels. You see? But angels all have energies of the Osea world. It's like the word or, yell. Or, light is a natural word. In the Osea world, we talk about or all the time. Or we talk about Ra's, secret, all the time. So what we do is how these become more of an emotional energy of the Yetzirah world, where they have a symbol of 6 more attached to them. But then the Seraphim have 6 wings, 2 to cover this is even higher now, 2 to cover the eyes, 2 to use his hands, and 2 to cover the feet. But this is as we go on and on. So these energies that I'm talking about that are natural, like or Gevurah, strength here in the physical world becomes Gevuriel. It's a different type of energy, where they call it emotional energy in the Yetzirah world. So anything that you put an L on it, it's like that language that they used to have, Pig Latin. Ooh, pig, you can't. Pig Latin is not a kosher language. You know? So the point is, you put like a thing on it, aroma K, a tepa K, something that you used to do on Pig Latin. So when you want to talk about the world of Osea, in the world of Yetzirah, just put an L at the end of it. Mikiel. Gavoriel. Oriel. Yeah, or. Oh, here's the light. Or. As we go up, it's Oriel. Of course you've never heard of this, because I'm in Yetzirah. And when you're in Yetzirah, the things come to you, you get closer. Always remember, Yetzirah is still blocked. I'm still blocked. But maybe not as much as I was in the Osea world. And this occurred just recently because my brother's soul was completed in the Osea world by 11 months of Kaddish. And so his soul has now needs some assistance in the Yetzirah world. So he's brought me up into the Yetzirah world to assist his soul in these 5 years of transformation of a soul. Because we go backwards, from the grave, you start in with a 3-day, a 7-day, a 30-day, and then an 11-month. But you go backwards this way. You go, instead of the 11 months, you go, maybe in this year, it's the year of like the 30-day period. So that's Yetzirah world. The Zelem also has relationship here. Because the Zelem leaves 30 days before the soul dies. There's so much here. These are only notes for me to remember. And now we talk about Yisrael. Yisrael is the angel that we all are. We all are Yisrael. We're angels in the world of Asaya. We're all Malakim from the Yetzirah world in the world of Asaya. And as normative Jews on Shabbat, we enter that Yetzirah world. But we can bring that down into the regular weekdays of the 6. That 6 is the world of Bria and the Sharafim and the 6 wings of the Sharafim. And we can bring that down, that Shabbos, into the 6 regular days. And if you feel that each day of these 6 is a Shabbos, then you're a Zaddik. That's all. If every day is Shabbos, you're a Zaddik. Instead of having 1 day a week, 1/7, and what is 1/7 but 0.14 2 or whatever. That 1/4 is what's added to 3, the circle of 3. We need 1/7 to make the number pi. That 1/7 is such a big deal. That 1/7 is Shabbos, but we need it to complete the whole week. That 1/7 is the 50th gate of Bina, which is Keta. Keta is 620. Vehetzi is 310. That's 930. Keta Vehetzi is 930, and those are the years of Adam. And Adam is the first man, obviously. Relationship to Keta is 930. And then the 70 years that he gave to David, the 7 lower commandments, 7 lower Sephirot from Hesed through Malchus, not of the 3, each having 10 each, that's 70 years, so completion there. Those are the 70 that went to him. But the 1/7 added to the 3 of the above is what makes the real pie. Apple pie makes the real pie. 3.1417, and that's the 50th gate of Bina, which is Keta. And that's 1/7 of the next week after 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49, and 1/7 is That 1/7 is what makes, if you've ever looked up the enneagram of Gurdjieff, you see it's 3, 6, 9. Those are the three numbers of the triangle. And then it's completed by 1, 2, 4, I think it's 5, 8, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 7, it's 1/7. Those are the connections. 1/7, 1.4 is the secret of the completion of the circle. Number pi, the relationship between the diagonal, not diagonal, the horizontal line, and circumference. And that 6, like the 6 wings, if you use it from the radius to the circumference, well, the diameter. So here's some of the great secrets as we speak about Yisrael. Yisrael is 541, and if you spell it out, it's 500. It's 1,075 plus the 5 letters plus 1. That's 1,081. That's Tiferet. Tiferet is the natural home of Yaakov, because it's Avraham and Hesed, Gevurah is Yitzhak, and then Yaakov and Yisrael is now Yisrael is the gematria of that. Also, if we use Yisrael as its normative gematria, regular 541, and we double it, we get 1,082, which is Tiferet plus 1, which is legitimate gematria. And when we do all this, we see that Yisrael is Tiferet. And Tiferet is the sun, not S-O-N, but S-U-N. And the sun's radiation is Yisrael. And that's what you are. You're a sun's ray. You're an angel from the sun, from Oriel, Raziel. The two secrets of those names is that Or is 207 and Raz is 207. And therefore, then you add the angel component, but Or is 207, that's the gematria of Ein Sof. And Raz 207, it's the gematria of Ein Sof. And the messenger is the El aspect. The Malachim is the El, it's the messenger, to bring us down from that thing. If you can experience the sun, then the essence, the atzmos of the sun. What's the atzmos of the sun? The atzmos of the sun is Ein Sof, without end, which is obvious when you see that the sun never ends. And so the point is, this Ein Sof recognition. When you recognize that Kol Israel is Echad, and Shemo Echad, and everything is Echad, then you don't need these other language metaphors. You experience it yourself. But until then, we go through this. So the only thing me not experiencing the oneness, these limitations of these lower worlds, the Osir world. Yes, it's a higher world in Yetzirah world. But don't get too proud there, because there's a higher world above that. In Bria world, where it's the world of thoughts. But don't get too proud there either, because you're still not there. transcend up. We transcend up into Etziliot world. And that's what's part of these 15 days of the new year of the tree. Because the Sephirot, the Sephirot of the new year of the tree are on the tree of life. And that tree of life, that Sephirot is the fruit of the tree of life. Pick the fruit off the tree. These are 10 fruits on the tree of life, energies that you can get into. And even there's more. These are still limitations for more. Can you go up? Climbing the ladder to the top. They do that. Other dimensions of the people do that in yoga, but Malakim, which you are, you're a Malakim, you're a messenger. And until you recognize you're a messenger, you're going to be back in this world, competing with people. You're a Malach. You're not a messenger. You're not a person. And so this is, So this is where I received partially from another messenger. For some reason, Azrael or Azrael, which is a gematria that we'll talk about, that I stumbled upon this angel this morning. And so these few words, or these many words, may be due to my communications and my ability to sensate and get help from Azir.